Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. Top economic officials from the US and China have kick-started talks in Kuala Lumpur to avert an escalation of their trade war and ensure that a meeting happens next week between US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. The talks on the sidelines of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit will chart a path forward after Trump threatened new 100% tariffs on Chinese goods and other trade curbs starting on November 1st. Thailand's Prime Minister will travel to Malaysia to sign a ceasefire deal with Cambodia that US President Donald Trump is set to witness after he pulled out of the ASEAN summit due to the death of the kingdom's Queen Mother. Foreign ministers of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations are meeting today to start a weekend of global diplomacy in Kuala Lumpur, with teams from the United States and China holding trade talks alongside the summit. The US has imposed sanctions on Colombian President Gustavo Petro as President Donald Trump sharply escalated a feud with Washington's longtime Latin American ally over accusations that Petro has refused to stop the flow of cocaine into the United States. The US military has ratcheted up activity in the southern Caribbean, striking vessels in international waters that it has alleged, without evidence, are carrying drugs. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has accused the United States of fabricating a war, following Washington's decision to deploy the USS Gerald R Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, towards the Caribbean. Calling the move a deliberate act of provocation in Latin America, Maduro says the US promised never to get involved in another war, and yet they are fabricating a new, eternal war. Russian President Vladimir Putin's aide Kirill Dmitriev has said that Moscow, Washington and Kiev are quite close to reaching a diplomatic breakthrough to end the ongoing war in Ukraine. Dmitriev insists that a summit between Putin and US President Donald Trump has not been cancelled, contrary to earlier statements from Trump. Thailand's Queen Mother Sirikit, who brought glamour and elegance to a post-war revival in the country's monarchy, has died aged 93. Sirikit had been out of the public eye since a stroke in 2012. The palace said she was hospitalised since 2019 due to several illnesses and developed a bloodstream infection on October 17th before passing away late on Friday. Pakistan International Airlines has officially resumed its flight operations to the United Kingdom after a 5-year suspension. The inaugural flight from Islamabad to Manchester was launched in a special ceremony, where Aviation Minister Khawaja Asif was the chief guest, signalling what he called the beginning of a new chapter in the history of PIA. The minister said this achievement was the result of the current government's correct priorities and continuous hard work. Ferrari is tapping into crypto markets and tech-rich youngsters with a planned new digital token that its wealthiest fans will be able to use in an auction for a Ferrari 499p, the endurance car that won 3 straight Le Mans titles. The plan for now is limited in scope and is an effort by the Italian sports car maker to tap into a trend among luxury brands seeking access to the growing wealth of younger tech entrepreneurs. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.